moved away from Final Fantasy 16. I'll go back to it. But I was screwing around on the Xbox a little bit, the Xbox One, because I found some cheap downloadable games last 2 weeks during sales. They were like, I mentioned them. I'll talk about them a little more here. So I'll talk about those ones first, and I'll go into the physical copies. But the first one was Goosebumps. There was a Goosebumps game. I had $1.25 and a gift card, Xbox card. So I paid 37 cents for that. That was like $1 or something, whatever it was. Cool game. It was very old school, kind of point and click almost. And it was point and click. You're going around certain environments, and you're just picking certain things to look at and grab. And then you have to figure out where to use certain things, what you have to do when you're talking to certain people. You got to figure out certain responses and stuff like that. Admittedly, I did use a walkthrough in a little bit of this because some of it was like really ridiculous. There's a point like in a mall where you have to like go to certain directions and stuff, or if you go the wrong way, you're back at the beginning. I was like, okay, I'm not going nuts with this game to do that. So I looked a few things up in there, but pick up certain things. You could pick up a bunch of stuff. Some are useless, some are not. Overall, it was pretty cool, though, for what it was, honestly. It was very, like, old school, like, you gotta do a bunch of stuff here, and, well, there's another part with, like, developing a picture where things had to be, like, a certain time or something. It was like, what? Some of this stuff you will know because it will be brought up, but sometimes if you're, like, not paying attention to some of the, just, dialogue you're seeing on the screen, you might miss something. But overall, pretty cool game, honestly. I had fun with that one. It was very short, but it's still worth it, though. 37 cents. The second game was another one that was like $1. It was under $2 with taxes, maybe $1.60 or $1.75. Called Yesterday Origins. Now, I was like, and then I think I mentioned in another video I was talking about this game. I was like, oh, I wonder if there's an original one, because you're going through a thing on the computer, and it's like showing pictures of your previous adventure, and it actually is on Steam. I should have bought it, because I don't think it's on sale anymore. It was literally like 75 cents. I don't know why I just didn't. But it's only on there. I didn't find it on the Xbox store. But, pretty cool game. The guy you're using is John Yesterday. It's not his original name, I don't believe. But he was like transmuted. Back in the day, you find there's a little twist there at the end of this one where you find out when he actually was transmuted or whatever. Same thing, and you're going out throughout history. He can die and come back to life, that's what it is. And some other people can as well. And he's the only one who could read this book, like it's like the devil's type book. Everybody else, these other people like back, because you play through different time periods. Most of the time you're in present day, but you do play back to his earlier selves. And you, oh my god. Oh yeah. Other people try to read this book, because you were a monk at some point. Other people try to read this book, and then they can't stop reading, and then they die. Their eyes bleed out, and they die. But same thing, another point-and-click game, you gotta come up with weird things. You gotta keep trying everything. You gotta look at everything. Like, once you find certain things, like a little thing will come up on the left side. Right side is like, well, left side of the screen would be objects you come across. You can combine some, you gotta figure out what you want to combine. Then you come up with other kind of scenario type things where you look at a couple of things and all of a sudden it gives you a thing on the other side. You have to look at everything. You have to look at yourself. There's little spots on yourself that you can look at other characters in the game. Very old school in its way, where you're just going to keep trying stuff in this game. Another one where I looked at the walkthrough a couple of times. But you just need to try things in this game. see what sticks, you know. And then you'll get random achievements because you did something weird. And I was like, oh, if you do this, you know. But it was pretty cool as well. It had a nice look. It reminded me very much of like, it had a style like the Broken Sword games, a little bit. But that was a pretty good one as well. I enjoyed that. Another one that was longer, but still not overly long. Maybe it was like 5 hours, something like that, 5-6 hours. And then I'm going to talk about this one briefly. I stopped playing it. Battlefield 4. I was bitching about it, but I meant to bitch about something else, and the reason I stopped playing it in the previous video, but I forgot. This game looks pretty good. It has that weird look that earlier, you know, like the original Xbox 360 games had that weird kind of shine to them. Almost looked plastically, some of the games, earlier titles. This one has a certain look that I feel like early PS4 and Xbox, especially Xbox One games had. I can't really describe it as easy as like that plastic look. But I gotta talk about the AI in this game is awful. The friendly AI is so bad in this game. Like, you'll be with people, and you'll be hiding behind cover shooting at people, and an enemy will just ran. You'll be like, who's shooting at me? You look on the map. You turn around. There's a guy shooting you in the back while your crew is looking at the person do it. Not shooting them. They'll run in your way. The AI, the friendly AI in this game is terrible. You get into vehicles at points, which is pretty fun. And some of the missions are kind of cool. You're on like this aircraft carrier, U.S. aircraft carrier that's been destroyed. And you got to go on it before it sinks because you got to get something out of it. That was pretty cool. That was the thing from the demo, I believe, or the trailer from way back. It was probably like 2012 or something, this trailer came out. Where it's kind of starting to sink. The one half of the aircraft carrier breaks off like the Titanic and goes up and then you gotta get off. But I don't know. Some of the guns were cool and shit, but the AI was just so bad in this game. And sometimes everything blends in together so you don't even know what the fuck you're shooting at. And the thing that stopped me from playing this game was I didn't notice this at first, but they didn't give me the achievements for the first level, and I know I at least would have gotten one for beating the level. I'm like, that's weird. So I went back and played it again and got the achievements. But then there was another part. The second mission, I'm like, I'm playing through it, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I played all of this. And it saved, and I started the next level, and it shows you a little automatic save. So I had to play that again. I was like, all right, maybe I didn't finish it. I'm going through the levels. I get to another level that was pretty long and annoying. I beat it. I get to the next level. I told you I was in the prison. I'm like, oh, I'm in the prison now. I played some of the prison autosave. I'm like, I'll come back and do this another point. I go back, and it has me playing the previous mission. It's like, oh, continue where I left off. And it's starting me at the annoying long mission. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I was on the prison. It auto-saved and everything. I was like, what the fuck? Because this hasn't happened the other times when I did this for other missions. It would auto-save, I'd go back and play it. I was like, I'm done. I'm not playing through this mission again. It was long and annoying. I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm done with this fucking game. I don't know why that happened. I did start off some of this as well. Splinter Cell Double Agent. I threw this in. I only did play the tutorials. I won the achievement points for the tutorials. I do want to go back and play more of this, though. I've been on an achievement point kick, too. That's the reason I've been playing some of these games. But I did play some of it. I do want to go back to it. But the one I've been playing and still playing, this was gifted to me a little while back. And I finally cracked it open and started playing it. It's Ken Follett. It's a book based on, like, world best-selling book. The Pillars of the Earth. This has all of it in it. I beat book 1, which is the first 7 chapters. And then I think there's 21 maybe or something total. So now I'm just about to start book 2. Pretty cool game, actually. Thank you again to the person who gifted it to me as well. plays a couple different people in this. It starts off, you're in like the cold, but it's almost like you're playing through a book. It's slower paced. There's a lot of dialogue and cutscenes that you cannot skip, from what I know. From I've been playing, it doesn't seem like you can skip them. Although there's other little parts where you're on like a little map of the area and you're moving along, and you can kind of skip through that faster, where it shows a picture and then some dialogue. But you start off as Tom Builder, and you're in the woods with your family. You're trying to get a job elsewhere, but you're living in the woods. Your wife gives birth. She dies. Then you're just playing as a monk. You're doing more stuff at the priory there and stuff like that. Or maybe not. Maybe he's not a monk. You're just Brother Philip. And the monks are like friar. They're friars, maybe? Because they have the haircut like Friar Tuck. The bald on top. They work for the Lord, though. They're in the church. So, it takes place in the, God. Maybe it's the 1500s? I should have... Follow an epic of war, conspiracies, and romance spanning over 30 years. A special appearance by Ken Follett as the voice of the Cantor. But you're doing stuff as Philip. So there's intrigue, there is mystery. Another kind of point-and-click game. You're grabbing stuff in the environment. You're giving certain dialogue options to people. You can kind of choose different things and whatnot. Doing certain things a certain way. You're having people do things for you and stuff. Like I said, you're finding some things and you gotta give it to other people and shit like that. Some of the stuff you don't have to do. But it's pretty cool. Yeah, here's Philip. This is, she was a princess, I forget her name, Eliana. But Philip gives information to the bishop, who then uses it, and then because the leader of, I forget what it is, like Shiresburg or something. There was rumors he was going to overthrow the king, he said, or something, and then they take over that guy's village, and the princess and the prince, the two kids were booted. I think that's what book, you use her, I believe, a lot in the second book. This guy here, you play as him as a kid. Oh, what was his name? Jack? Now he's older. I would assume you're playing him as later on in the game as he ages. Because you're with his mother in a cave and you meet up with Tom Builder and then you're all hanging out. Like I said, you're in different areas doing things. It's actually pretty cool. It's slow moving, it's slow paced. But it's pretty cool. It's another one where that was like maybe 5-6 hours, the first book. It's actually a pretty cool game, actually. I'm glad I finally popped it in. I have a lot of games that are sealed that I'm just like, I gotta start popping some of these things in. So I stepped away from the PS5, throw in some Xbox stuff, play that. Once Christmas rolls around, I'm gonna be back into the PS5 stuff, so... I do want to complete this before Christmas, before the new year, because I remember I got the request to, I think, talk about games I completed, and I want to do that again this year. I've not completed a ton of games, but I want to add this to the list. And whatnot. It's mostly just PS5 games, and then there's a couple of Xbox One games as well. I'm not beating a lot of games. I've played a decent amount, but I've not beaten a ton. I guess I haven't played a decent amount either, actually, now that I think of it. I'll look at the Xbox One stuff, too, and see if there's anything I kind of just finished off. I'll have to see. Look back on achievements and trophies and see what games I actually completed in 24, because I do forget some. But yeah, this is a cool game. Check it out. If you're into the visual novel type games, but there is more gameplay in this. You're actually moving around a lot more in this game and stuff, and you like point and click type stuff. It's that kind of vibe as well. Ken Follett. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. The Pillars of the Earth. And thank you again to give this to me. But yeah, that's just I've been playing vid, and thanks for checking this out.